Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live, everybody. Welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derek Forston, and I'm super excited, just like I am every week. Today is Saturday. Today is a great day to be alive. We're expecting a lot of people to be here today, so I appreciate that. We got a lot of different separate families that have already told us that there's a lot of them that are going to be together. So big shout out to a lot of the families that are watching this together, and we'll shout you guys out here individually here in just a minute. But again, thank you so much, because again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the absolute right place. We teach people here at Forston Consultants how to take a property, 4-bed, 2-bath, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1-bed, 1-bath, whatever it is. And we take people from homeless to hopeful. And we call these independent living facilities. So not only did we come up with that phrase, we trademarked it, right? So we actually own it, right? So if you go to the U.S. patent and look it up, you will see me and my wife's name. We have trademarked independent living facility, which simply means independent living facility, right? A shared living environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So very similar to a group home, very similar to an ALF and all these other things that you guys have heard of, but very different in terms of startup, cost, licensures, and all of that stuff. There's no red tape to get into this, guys. There's no hula hooping and jumping through rings of fire, any of that stuff that those licensed facilities require you to do. An independent living facility, guys, is the cheat code to start your program. So again, if you ever desire to start your own housing program but didn't know where to start, again, you're in the right place, and you should consider shared housing, which again, we've trademarked and branded independent living facility. And again, it's just that environment where adults, not teenagers, not children, right? Not married couples, right? Not the guy and his girlfriend, not the lady and her 3 kids, but it's the individual adult male or the individual adult female that needs somewhere to live. So a lot of times, man, people just hit a stumbling block or a hurdle in life, and they just need a place to live until they can get back on their feet. So we serve as a stepping stone to where people are going and where they're trying to go, right? Or to better their life. Some of the clients and people that will serve will stay with us forever. But some people, they're actually going to get on their feet and move on and get their own apartment, their own private room, their own house, right? So how great is it that you guys can serve as an affordable housing provider in your city, right? You give God all the credit, but you do all the work. And again, everything works together, because again, we always say, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the way to mesh all of those together. The love of God, the love for people, and the love for real estate. And you can mash all of those together. So again, man, that's who we are. That's what we do. If you guys are new to us, absolutely let us know, because I want to know that before we jump into any of the questions or any material. We got a lot of questions that already came in. So there's about 8 different questions that I'm going to hone in on today. If you guys have any other questions or concerns, put them in the chat, right? I don't want to skip over anybody, and I want to make sure that we answer all questions today. Because again, if you ever desire to start your own housing program, right, you can do that. And there's no license required, and you don't have to own the property. So now my people that's been around me for a while, you guys know that stuff. But for a lot of the newer people that I'm expecting to be here today, a lot of them don't know that. And a lot of the questions that they asked, I can tell by the way they asked it that they are new to us, and we love that. So we love new people, and we also love questions. So I'm going to put in the chat. If you are new to us, I want you to text the word new to this phone number that I'm putting on the screen right now. We got a free gift for you just to say thank you for being here. And it's actually my newest ebook, and it's called How to Avoid the 12 Dumbest Mistakes I Made, right? So I'm literally super transparent in that book, y'all, and just kind of unveiled a lot of the mistakes that I made prior to really getting good at this. And I want y'all to avoid that, right? I made a promise that book would be for sale starting November 1st. I'll admit, we just hadn't got around to actually putting the price on it. So I'm still letting people enjoy that book for absolutely free. So again, just text the word new, just NEW to 407-326-0086. And that, again, will give you our introductory webinar to kind of break all of this down, because I'm going to talk a lot today. I'm going to answer a bunch of questions. But if you want some of the grassroots and kind of how all of this started and where does it come from and what's required, and you need something more in a chronological order, you need to definitely watch our webinar and text the word more info to get that. So that same phone number, if you text the phrase more info, that's how you're going to get that. I'm going to take a commercial break really quick. I'm going to come right back. I'm going to answer a lot of questions and any concerns that you have about starting this program that doesn't require for you to own the property. You can lease it. You can rent it, guys. And that's what blew my mind when I first got started. Any questions that you guys have, my job is to answer that before we get out of here. I'm going to be here for about an hour today. We got an open house to attend of somebody that we taught. So big shout out to Aklina and her family. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. But again, guys, this is what we do. We take people from homeless to hopeful. We do that in a shared living environment, and you don't have to own the property. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. All right, let's get back to it. Also, I never did a mic check. Can everybody hear me okay as well? Good morning, everybody that's also here. We're streaming on Clubhouse, YouTube, StreamYard, Facebook, Instagram. So again, welcome everybody. And I hope, again, those families that text me and told me that they would be here, it's about 3 different families, and you guys have more than like 8 and 9 and 10 people together. So again, big shout out to the Aaron family. You guys have over 15 people sitting in front of a 60-inch screen TV watching this today, and a lot of the questions came from you all. So big shout out to the Aaron family. I also want to shout out the Reba family, and I hope I'm saying that right. So big shout out to the Reba family. You guys have over 10 people together. And if you're listening already, hopefully you get a sense of what this is. We love it when you guys involve your family. This is about legacy, guys. Well, today we're talking about real estate, the love of God, and how to house people that don't require a license or state oversight from your city. So big shout out to people that involve their family. I super appreciate that. And then to the Barner family. So I appreciate you guys being here. You guys have multiple people as well. So I'm going to give a brief intro in terms of who we are and what we do just one more time. And I'm going to jump straight into the questions really quickly. If you've ever desired to house the homeless, the displaced, military veterans, any of that stuff, we do this in what we call a shared living environment. Now, I'm somebody that like to talk, but I also like to give visuals, right? So I'm going to bring my face down. And right now, you guys should be seeing a picture of what we would call a shared room. Now, 3 of y'all put in the chat, yes, Derek, I can see that. Because sometimes y'all know I'm not real techie, and I be talking, thinking I'm showing y'all a picture, and y'all can't see nothing. So 2 of y'all tell me, yeah, Derek, I can see that bed, those 2 beds, right? And tell me what color they are to make sure you telling me the truth. So again, guys, this involves the love of God and real estate. And we're going to communicate. We're going to build relationship with social workers, case managers, and anybody that's in the social service setting. So right off the bat, one of the questions comes from a family, again, the Aaron family. Well, Derek, where are you getting these people from? Most of our people are coming from social workers, case managers, hospitals, the Salvation Army, anything that you can think of in your city when it comes to social services where people are being discharged from. Like prime example, your local shelter. A lot of you guys are driving home and driving to work, and you're passing by homeless people all the time. So think about that guy that you see at the red light holding the sign that says, hey, I'll work for food. Believe it or not, guys, a lot of times them guys have money. They have an actual income, which may come through an SSI or SSDI or some government stipend that they get every month. But a lot of you all were just like me many years ago, and you didn't know that it was a choice or an opportunity to be able to help a guy like that. You were like me and thought you needed a license. You thought you had to own the property. Guys, and so did I. What was lucky for me or blessed to me, my wife tricked me many years ago to go to college, right? I had no plans to go to school, but my wife tricked me to go to school. I became this social worker and landed this job where I was in charge of housing. And guys, I'll admit, man, sending that treatment team every day at that hospital, a lot of people we discharged to the street, hate to say that, or to really bad environments. So when I found out and God allowed me to see a lady, y'all, that was making $41,000 a month doing this, and she was housing people in rats and roaches, I was like, the devil is a liar. I got to get in this. There is no way that I can sit back and watch this and I not get in it because I love God. I love people. I love real estate. But y'all, all this was me just seeing somebody do this the wrong way. So lucky for all of y'all, the dream was in my heart and I wanted to do it just like a bunch of y'all. And I always say that, man, what I love about people that usually find us and come around us, you guys love God, y'all love people, and you're not lazy people. You just never knew it was an option to get into something like this to where you actually didn't need the license. So one of the first steps that I also tell people, man, you just got to make a decision that this is what I'm doing and no devil in hell is going to stop it. Right? So somebody type in the chat, make a decision. Because I was the social worker making 28 grand a year, barely making ends meet. And I was like, boy, I got to get in this. And when the Lord allowed me to see that lady, and what I appreciate about her, y'all, even though she wouldn't teach it to me, she wouldn't tell me how to get started. She wouldn't give me no hints and no clues. But she was like, Derek, I don't own these places now. I want you to make sure you understand that. And y'all, I'll admit, when she told me she didn't own the houses, that was like game over. Like, I'm getting in this. Because I thought I had to buy a property. And how am I going to buy a property? And that's how a lot of y'all think with my current job or what I'm currently going through. But boy, I surely scraped up enough money to rent that place. So some of y'all just need to make a decision that this is something that you want to do and you're going to get started. And again, we're just simply talking about a shared living environment. These are not group homes. This is not an ALF. This is an ILF where adults that are independent, that can cook their own bologna sandwich, that can provide their own transportation, and probably the most important one, they can take their own medications without the need for a nurse, without the need for me to be some doctor, without the need for me to go to school and get some kind of certificate. So again, man, I'm only talking to the guy that was just like me or the lady that was just like me, that people been tricking you for a long time or either hiding the information in terms of how to get started. Now, Aaron family, as you guys see, I go a long way with just that one answer, right? But that's what I just really want people to just make sure they understand that this doesn't require a license. This doesn't require state oversight. Like, here I am as that social worker working on that job, praying that God changed my life through real estate, praying that God changed my life by helping people. Man, I had no clue that you can merge all of that together. Real estate, the love of God, and helping people. That's why we call this a ministry. Yes, it's a business. Yes, you got to get an LLC. Yes, it involves real estate. But guess what this really is? Guys, I'm no different from your local pastor. And I've never said that before, Tia. Tia, you and I are no different from the local pastor, because I also have a ministry. Now, do I have a microphone? Now, other than me on this podcast and me hooking up my own mic, not really. Do I have my own congregation? Not really. Got a lot of people that follow us. Am I in a church building, Tia? Absolutely not. But am I doing the will of God? Yes. Am I loving on people? Yes. Am I involved in real estate, which is also, watch this, not just because we said it, but the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. It's going to be always some guy that can't afford to buy his own house, his own apartment. So as that social worker, man, I couldn't wait to get into this. And then some of y'all just need to make a promise to either yourself or to a loved one. And I just simply made a promise to my mom that we would buy her a new car one day and that we would retire her from her job. Now, me with all of my siblings, and we came together, and guys, we did that. So there's a lady that I know very well by the name of Miss Adrian. She uses this phrase all the time. Find your finish line. That's Adrian Wells saying. That means put something in front of you that you can always have something to look forward to. Something that when times get tough, man, you got something in front of you to remember the vision of what God told you to start, which is this housing program that does not require a license and you don't have to own this property. And again, the inside is going to look like what I'm showing you guys. This is the shared room, and this is that private room. That private room is for the guy that says, Derek, I don't want to share no room. Derek, I'm 55 years old. And his income can actually support it. So I just answered probably 3 of y'all questions right there, Aaron family. Right? Now, watch this. Another question that you guys asked was, somebody said, Derek, I know you got coaching and stuff, but can I learn this just by listening to you? Absolutely. Big shout out to Miss Latanya, who now has an independent living facility, didn't take any of our coaching, but is on every one of these lives. And if she missed one, she go back and catch that replay. So people like that actually makes us feel really proud. And a lot of people that don't take our coaching and then just learn it, they actually think that sometimes that we may get offended by that. So they're afraid to tell us. Guys, please tell me if you just came here and you listened over the years like she did, and now she was smart enough to say, man, you know what? I still need that website that the Forstons offer. I still need that CRM system. She now came through us and she's got a nonprofit and everything. She now went through us, which is digitalflowsolutions.net. And now we're hosting her website, her CRM system, her automations to make her program better. I'm so proud of her. And watch this, y'all. Never met her a day in my life. She says, she told my wife on her discovery call, she said, man, I've been following you and Derek for years. Ever since that you guys started on Clubhouse back in the day, 3-4 years ago. She is now up and running with her own independent living facility. Didn't bother coaching. So for the Aaron family, for the Trout family, and you guys asked Derek, well, can I just learn this by listening? Absolutely. And you know why? Because we have over 600 videos on this topic. There isn't a question you guys can think of that's probably not already in some kind of video format. Now, the one-on-one coaching is that mean you want to skip the line. Most of y'all done been to the club in y'all earlier days, right? In your past life, because all y'all good people now, and we don't club, right? But remember back in your club day, Till, and they had that VIP line? Everybody else, the line is wrapped around the corner. But if you was willing to pay the VIP, you skipped the line and you just walk right on in the club. That's what the one-on-one coaching is like for us. And that's called the ILF Mastery Blueprint. You skip the line. It's faster, it's quicker, and you skip all of the mistakes. That's a great example. I've never gave that kind of example before, but that's exactly what that is. Imagine anywhere where you bought a VIP ticket and everybody else I'm gonna just call was regular that day. You skipped the line because you paid the cost. That's what the one-on-one coaching is for. But just to answer that question, and again, big shout out to Miss in fact, Latonya, if you're on here, shout us out in the chat. I love that. She said, Dick, I've been hanging around y'all so long and you teach this stuff so much. Derek, I used your phrase that I moved at the speed of instruction. That's all she did, y'all. And again, if you just joined us, welcome. We're just discussing shared housing, independent living facilities, which doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. You can rent it or lease it. No state oversight, no staff. Guys, that was the cheat code for me the moment I found that out. As the social worker, and God showed me a lady that was doing this, y'all, in rats and roaches. Please watch my beginning webinar of all of how all of this started. And you do that by texting the phrase more info to the phone number on the screen. Just text the phrase more info. I'm even put that on the screen. That way you get my whole story of how God allowed me to see a lady that was making $41,000 a month. Can y'all imagine making 41 bands every 30 days? Lord have mercy. Somebody type in the chat, I'm next. But the only difference is that we're going to do it the right way. We're not going to house people in rats and roaches and filth and in squalor. Because money follows ministry, ladies and gentlemen. Next question, because I can go on and on about that. Don't forget, guys, if you got any additional questions besides these 8 that came in, let us know. Takesha asks, how much is it per bed, Derek? Well, that depends on where you live at. Now, because I just have a big mouth and I'm super transparent, I'll tell you my prices. I'm in Orlando, Florida. Tia, you're in Polk County. Tiffany, if you're here, Katara here, put in the chat what you guys are charging and where you're located, because I want to give Takesha a real example of what this looks like. Because if I just say, well, Takesha, it depends on where you live at, she'll say, well, Derek, just tell me. But I'm going to show you from Katara, who's in South Carolina, from Tia, who's in Haines City, Florida, and I'm in Orlando. So for me, this picture that you see on the screen, that starts out at $900, depending on what property you're at in my places. Prime example, I moved a guy in yesterday for $940. He's in a private room, did not want a roommate. He one of them guys that said that, hey, Derek, man, this all sounds great, bro, but I don't want to share no room, man. You don't have any of those private rooms? I said, well, why? Yes, sir, we do. What do those go for? Now, because of the property he was going to, I had 2 rooms available, but they were actually both different prices. The rooms were different sizes. Different things were already in said room. One of those rooms had a TV already in it, had a desk and a chair. That's the one he wanted. That's why it was $940 instead of $900. Does that make sense, everybody? So I'm in Orlando, Florida. That room you're looking at right now, guys, that's $940. A gentleman moved in it yesterday. But for my overall properties, that starting point is $900. Now, for my shared living environment like this starts at $740. We take care of the lights, the water, the cable, the Wi-Fi, the security system, the door lock code, his own key code to get in. All of that's on me. So when we teach this to you guys are going to be known as a one-stop shop. This is an independent living facility, no license required, no staff, and no permission from your state to do this. If you got patience, the love for God and the love for people, you just met the requirements. 2 of y'all type in the chat right now, I meet the requirements, and I'll repeat them. If you love God, if you love people, and if you got some patience, because, guys, we're dealing with people that are already on the fringes of life sometimes. And if you just happen to love real estate, ding, 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 ding. That's just the icing on the cake. If you like Tia and you already love the thought of generational wealth and you love real estate. Katara, you got a family. You got a husband. You guys are creating generational wealth. There's a lot of you guys that are in here that this is exactly what this is. And the cool part about it, God calls it ministry. So like I was joking earlier, I don't need my own church. I don't have to be called a pastor, but guys, this is ministry. Because the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us, and we're to take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow. We just so happen to be doing it through real estate. Wow. So again, not rocket science. And again, this is a no-brainer if you've ever wanted to do something like this, but you didn't know where to get started. And I told you, and again, the Aaron family, y'all asked this question. What is my starting point? Texting that word more info to 407-326-0086. It's going to ask for your name, your email address, and boom, you get automatic access to that webinar. And as soon as you finish watching the webinar, it's going to invite you to a phone call. And plus my team going to see it, and they're going to either be calling you or emailing you or texting you about, hey, when are you available to talk to Derek now? You've probably seen enough and you got questions. Now, my favorite is when you guys bring the questions right here to YouTube. That way everybody can hear it and we learn together. The discovery calls is like, man, you know what? I want this coaching, but I want to ask him a few questions before I give him my money. I'll admit, that's what most people use that discovery call for. Troy in the chat, no different. He did that. Tia in the chat, no different. She did that. Tiffany in the chat, no different. She did that. A cleaner who we're going to her open house today for her second house in less than 4 months, she did that. In fact, we're probably going to go live today from a cleaner's open house. So again, guys, watch the proof that's already in the pudding, right? Watch how the coaching comes out freely from us. Again, the one-on-one coaching, which is our ILF Mastery Blueprint. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know it, that's on just half off sale right now. This is the month of November, which is my wife's birthday yesterday. So if you missed telling my wife happy birthday, Shout out to her and show her some love, please. And my birthday is on the 16th. So we always do something crazy in the month of November. So if I were you guys and you were considering working with us, I would text the word scholarship to that same phone number. That's if you want the coaching and you want a deep discount. And everybody knows that our coaching is $7,500, but it's on sale right now for half at $3,750. But because of the month of November, if you actually want the coaching, there's a little bit more that can come off of that just because I'm excited. Shay's birthday is last night, so we're still kind of on a high from that. We're celebrating again today with this open house, and my birthday is on the 16th. So I just want to be an absolute blessing to people that want to get into this, especially if you know that you was called by God to do this, and you're not going to make any excuses, and you're not going to procrastinate, because y'all know me by now. If you've been hanging around us, you know that procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. One more time, guys, don't procrastinate, because it's the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to act on. Now, I'm not going to ask in the chat, don't put no number in the chat, and don't raise your hand, but just in your heart and in your head right now, how many of you that God is, you know he's called you to do this? And I don't care what you call it, ILF, shared housing, put your name on it. I'm second chance housing. Katara's 311 solutions. Tia is reaching for success solutions. So I'm teaching you to put a name to it. Don't just do this in your regular name, but ask yourself right now, has God called me to do this? Does God want me to involved in helping people? Housing the needy, the poor, the needy. I think somewhere also it says in the Bible, and trust me, I ain't no pastor or no bishop, but somewhere also says that when you're doing unto the least of thee, meaning the people we serve, the poor, the needy, the widow, God said it's like he's doing a favor unto me. Lord have mercy. You talk about doing a favor for somebody. Think about how powerful that is to do a favor for God. God said, Derek, man, when you help the poor and the needy, Derek, and you housing these people that don't got it all together, they missed it somewhere in life. They got on drugs, but now they trying to get better. They quit high school and their life just went down the drain. They got a divorce, whatever life brought them. Because guess what, y'all? Everybody got a story, and that's why you're needed. And that's why what you see on the screen right now is that private suite. Aaron family, you guys also asked that. The Barron family, you guys also asked that. Well, Derek, what if the guy that want his own bathroom? We offer that too. See how the ILF is so flexible? Because you're going to get many phone calls, guys. You just got to cater to what the biggest need is. And I'll admit, for most people, the shared living environment, meaning that 2 per room, this right here, that's what's going to fit most people's budget, their income, what they can afford. Notice I said that in 3 different ways. And it's because, again, what they can afford. Now, most of your calls going to come for that private room. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's when you're going to have to educate now, because they can't afford it, really. Not with their cell phone bill, their grocery bill, and all of these other little things that they may be trying to keep up with. So again, we're only just discussing a shared living environment. These are called independent living facilities. No license will required. And the first step for you to get started is simply texting the phrase "more info" to the phone number that you see on screen. Text the phrase "more info" to 407-326-0086. That leads you to a webinar and then a phone call with us to talk about how fast can we get you started. Make sense, everybody? Next question. This question came in, says, let's see, Alvin and Sheila. So this must be a couple. Love it. So Alvin and Sheila says, I kind of answered that one, so it's the second part of the question. Can they do as they please, or are there set rules and times for curfew? So I love this. So in the independent living facility, guys, yes, there's rules, there's regulations. That's what makes this genius, y'all. I don't need a license to do it. I don't need state oversight, but there's still structure. Guys, I tried this in the first beginning, try to run this without structure. It was a clown show. So think of a group home setting with the rules, but with the freedom of you don't have to get permission from your state or staff to run it, because the people that we're housing are completely independent. So again, I'm going to just repeat the question just to make sure you understand. She's asking, can they do as they please? Absolutely not. When we teach you guys, we give you the handbook, the rule book, the signature page and say, yes, I received it. And guess what's on page number 6? Rules 1 through 10, that's highlighted in bold writing, which state things like this: no drugs, no alcohol, no outside company, which means your girlfriend and your boyfriend ain't welcome here. Don't destroy property, which means don't put your fist through my flat screen TV. Take your medications every day and all the time. And one of our most important rules right behind medication management, which you do on your own, pay your rent all the time, every time, and early if you have the ability to. That way you can ensure you always got a place to live. So I instill in my people that I move into that your best bet while you're here is to follow these rules and pay rent on time, all the time, and early, Troy, if you got the ability. Why do I say early? Because what if you get that money early like a lot of my guys do, but you so money happy to go to the mall or wherever to buy everything else before you took care of the most biggest responsibility you have? So guess what I educate a lot of my guys on the day one of moving in? Hey, man, your biggest responsibility here is to, first of all, take your medications if you're on any. That's going to keep you mentally stable, and pay your rent on time, all the time, and Troy, early if you got the ability. That way you always ensure you got a place to live, man, because quite frankly, y'all, not being funny, I house a lot of people that just can't afford to be homeless. I'm housing a guy that's going through cancer right now. I'm housing a guy that's going through heart problems right now. I got a guy right now, and if you're a prayer warrior or if you pray a little bit, y'all just please put a prayer out for one of my guys. His name is Peter. Peter is in intensive care right now, struggling for his life. Before meeting us, homeless, going through all these bad things, running to us to get the best housing ever. But now look at what he's going through because of his health conditions that was already pre-existing. So I would like to say, however this turns out, God used us for either transition or for him to get better. That's powerful, y'all. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. So that's what I mean by I'm housing a lot of people that can't afford to miss their rent payment because they need a place to live because of their health condition. So I do a lot of education on take your medications and pay that rent. That way we can keep you mentally and physically stable, and you always got a place to live. Amen, somebody? Because just like us, it's no different from you and I, y'all. God has blessed you and I that are on this call right now with the same mind, the mind of Christ, and the ability. Most of us got able bodies. That's a blessing. You're going to be called to house these very people that don't have this stuff. Does that make sense? Because that answers a whole nother question that you guys asked me. Why are we needed? I just told you. I'm housing people with cancer, heart problems, but they're still independent, but they just can't afford this high behind rent that they got. They can't afford to buy a house. So this shared living environment that we keep showing, right? This is what they can afford. This is what they want. And watch this. On the side of the investor, you guys are investors. You love God, you love people, and you love real estate. On the investor side is genius, right? Because now you're not rented to one family, one source of income. You're renting to multiple people in the one asset. Taylor family, you guys ask that. What's the benefit of me doing this way, Derek? Because we're real estate investors. Well, watch this. If you rent houses right now to a mom, dad, and 3 kids, just like I do, because I do that too. I got houses in Georgia, mom, dad, 3 kids. In fact, the dad left and it's just mom and the 3 kids now. We just found that out through the property manager. But watch this. That's one income. Mom loses that job. Lord, have mercy on me. I'm in trouble. Because rent ain't going to be paid, y'all. She got to feed her family. She going to try to keep the lights on. She going to buy grocery. But what if I take that same house, 3 bed, 2 bath, and put 6 people in it? As I'm taking people from homeless to hopeful. Now, as the investor, you make 2 and 3 and 4 times your profit while still doing good in the community. That's why this is a no-brainer, y'all. That's why this is an absolute no-brainer, because of the need of it and the blessing that's on the other side, because you're just doing what God told you to do. Your vehicle is just real estate. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay? So again, that original question, can they just come and go as they please? No. There is absolute structure and rules to this that they also signed for. One lady said, well, Derek, how do you enforce these rules if you don't have to have a license to run it? It's easy. Sir or ma'am, if you want to move in here, read this handbook, and my rules are this. If you and I agree on that, sign on the dotted line. It was almost like I couldn't believe the lady asked that question, but I said, no, Derek, you've been in this a long time, bro. Never take for granted what people don't know. So I hope that lady's here right now, and I won't even say her name because that was a great question. She said, well, Derek, this is not an ALF. It's not a group home. Derek, how do you make them follow rules if there's no, I said, ma'am, it's still structure. No different from you moving into your apartment complex or you renting a house. They still got leases and paperwork, right? Guys, this is no different. So remember the bottom line to this, Aaron family. You're going to turn yourself into a business. You won't call this Brent Aaron and Sharon Rent Aaron. Aaron Solutions, Aaron Enterprise, Aaron Consulting. That's what the business is going to be if you even decide to use your name. But you get my point, Aaron family? One of my biggest mistakes, and it's in my free book that I'm giving y'all right now, like it was doing this in my regular name, guys. That was a mistake. They're looking to sue Derek now. And boy, that's no good. You need an entity, guys, which has a shield in front of you that'll protect you along with your insurance. Boy, I hope that makes sense. So that's why we got the rules. That's why there's structure. That's why there's paperwork that they sign with the ink pen. Make sense, y'all? So this is, even though you hear me say it's a ministry, guys, it's still a business. Because even your local church, it's a business. They got light bill and water bill, electric bill, they got gas bills. Your church is a business, ladies and gentlemen. And don't take that the wrong way, but guys, there's a business side to all of this to be able to keep it running and maintaining it. These are great questions too, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I love these questions. I'm pulling up another question right now, but I always take a moment and I'll ask that if I'm confusing anybody, now is a great time to let me know. If you don't understand what we're talking about, let me know. If you're lost in the sauce, let me know. If you got some contradicting questions, let me know, right? That's what we're here for. Because again, really slowly, if you've ever wanted to house the homeless or the displaced, but didn't know how, didn't know where to start, we're explaining it. You don't need a license. Doesn't require state oversight because the people that we serve in this model are independent. They can take their own bath. They can feed themselves. They go shopping to Walmart by themselves. Makes sense, everybody? They take their own medications. I don't have to be a CNA, a nurse, or a doctor. And they provide their own transportation to and from the doctor's office. Guys, I'm only providing a safe house and let them thrive on their own. That's the smallest recap that I can give anybody that if you just came in the building, right? Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for a Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forstonconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're back. And again, thank y'all so much for being here with us. We super appreciate it. You guys have a lot of choices of where you could be on these internet streets, but y'all chose to be here, and I super appreciate that. Also, and thank you for the questions too, because we love questions, because we want to make sure that we're giving clarity. And for anybody that watches the replays, the fact that you guys are asking these questions, it gives other people the opportunity to hear and learn. So again, we love that, because I made a promise many years ago, guys, that if God allowed me to get into this and it changed my life, then I will go all over the world teaching, and I would never take any credit. So watch me do that right now. Guys, without God, I'm nothing. But with God, y'all gonna think I'm a genius, right? But all this is the love of God, social services, and real estate all mixed into one. We just put it into a blender, blended it up, and we pour it all over the world now. So now we're in, 37 states now, because we had 2 people join yesterday, and one of those people is from Arizona, and we've never had anybody from Arizona. So big shout out to that family. I'll be talking probably more about them on Monday evening. So big shout out to the family that's in Arizona now, that adds another state under our belt. So our coaching and teaching, guys, is now in 37 different states. So again, guys, we're super proud of that, because many years ago, it was one me and one house. And now through the teaching of this, man, we're close to over 300 ILFs in 37 states now. And that's through the teaching of what we do. So thank you to everybody that's ever taken our coaching. Thank you to everybody that's ever trusted us. The ILF members, the IMB members, the ICC members. Big shout out to just everybody that's ever entrusted us with your vision, because it all starts with you, right? God put the vision in your heart in some kind of way. He allowed y'all to bump into us, and we call that for such a time as this. So again, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the Forston Consultants family, from everybody that works with us, our VA team. Thank you that if you've ever trusted us through a phone call, a discovery call, a strategy session, or as your coach. I coach a lot of y'all that are on here, right? And y'all know that we don't call y'all mentees or students. You guys are family to us, and we appreciate you guys. So again, just thank y'all so much for that. And I got more questions. So it's about 10:43, which means I got about a little bit over 15 minutes left, but I got about 3 more questions. If you guys have any more questions besides what I'm answering, please let me know, because I want to make sure I answer every question that you guys have. So the next one is how much per bed. I already answered that. That depends on your area. Where can I find step-by-step guidance? And is there coaching? Yes. So literally, that person just asked what I just talked about. To get the step-by-step, and your starting point is texting the phrase more info. That's MOREINFO to the phone number 407-326-0086. That's the first step. And then the ILF Mastery Blueprint is what you're referring to. And actually, I'll just bring that up right now, just real quick. The ILF Mastery Blueprint right now, guys, is $7,500, right? That's our one-on-one coaching. But during this month of November, especially because Shay's birthday, my wife, was last night, and my birthday is on the 16th. If you're interested in our coaching, as well as an additional scholarship that can really help with price, text the word scholarship to that same phone number, because right now we've been doing the ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, at $3,750. Right? So that's half off the original $7,500. But again, right now, especially the month of November, guys, we're just really being a blessing to people right before the New Year and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all of that stuff. It can actually go a little bit beyond that, right? But there's some special requirements. So again, if you desire that, then I'm going to text this in the thing for even people that'll see this later. Text the word scholarship to 407-326-0086. And that will absolutely give you guys another additional scholarship on top of what we're already doing. That's crazy. So instead of the $7,500, right now, the ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, is only $3,750. But if you desire that, right, and you ready to move forward, if I were you, I would text the word scholarship, and let's talk about how much more can we knock off of that with certain other things that may be required. And again, guys, it's a no-brainer. So if you've been on the line or the fence of getting in, now is a great time to do that because of what this scholarship will do to it. So again, text the word scholarship. I'm going to put this right here in the chat. All right, so there it is in the chat. And just real quickly, I'll show you guys what kind of comes with that. Also, the ILF Accelerator, that's our 6-month program. It literally mimics the ILF Mastery Blueprint. But the first one I just showed you, that means you stuck with me for life, right? That coaching just goes on and on and on. But if you're somebody says, well, Derek, I don't need you for life, bro. How can I get that one? This one's on sale, same thing, half off, only $1,500. But this one is a hard stop at 6 months. Same program, right? Same coaching, documents, paperwork. We build out your website and your CRM system with your guidance, your color scheme, your logo, right? And if you don't have a logo, we build it, right? But again, this was also half off at only $1,500. And again, if I were you guys, I would text that word scholarship to that phone number if you're interested in any of these, because it possibly can get lower. The DIY do-it-yourself version, guys, is only $497 right now from the original $997. And again, you can get that by texting the phrase WOW. So WOW, you can get that for $497, or my team can just send you an invoice. And also, you guys are privy to a phone call about any of these as well to talk about it further in terms of what's involved in it. But also go to ForstonConsultants.com and look at all the packages and look at all the long list of what's involved in that stuff. But most importantly, guys, is the one-on-one coaching, right? That means I'm going to hold your hand. You're going to have my personal phone number, all of the documents and paperwork, the website build out in your CRM system. Guys, we give it to you. And there's a new way that we're doing the VA service that a lot of people are loving. So that's why I want to make sure that we get on the phone if you guys are interested in anything like that. Okay. So this is kind of what's involved in it. I'm going to just kind of scroll through these and let you guys see it. This is also for the people that see it during the replay. So the coaching, the business consulting, the logo, the website, the VA service, the HRA contents. So if you don't know what our HRA is, guys, that allows you to house the homeless and the displaced, and you never need the real estate or the property. It teaches you how to be a referral agent of it. So just use your cell phone and make referrals to people, right? And when that person move in, they owe you a referral fee. So we got a lot of people that do that only. So make sure that you guys check out the HRA webinar as well on our website. So all the paperwork, all the documents, the know-how of how to get the property. The MSI group coaching is also a big no-brainer. That's a 5-week coaching that we recorded. You guys get 5 additional weeks, right? Over 20 hours of more coaching that's been recorded. And all the exclusive communities that we have, you get it. And as I said, the ILF Accelerator literally almost mimics it, right? Not much is not involved in that. And again, this one's also half off, but that's a 6-month program. And then again, the do-it-yourself version is also sliced in half at that $497. So if you guys want any of that stuff, man, make sure you text that phone number to 407-326-0086. And the Aaron family just asked me to put it back on screen, so no problem. Let me find it. Also, here's another good starting point I just put on the bottom of the screen is that our ebook bundle. It's like 97 books, y'all. It comes with 3 ebooks, I think a mini course, and a strategy call for 15 minutes, right? That's only like 97 books. So if you text the word ILF bundle, you could also get that. So ILF bundle to that same phone number. And then there's my one that's talking about the scholarship. So I put that one to scroll across the bottom. So if you desire our coaching and you want the scholarship for that coaching, make sure you do that as well. Rita says, hurry up. Your new ILF partner is waiting for you at the open house. So that's exactly where I'm getting ready to go. I told you guys at the beginning of this that we're launching another ILF for a student that I said, I don't call y'all students, but a family member that we launched in Orlando, Florida. This is her second ILF, guys, in less than, I think, 4 months, right? So she's somebody that's just like a lot of you all. Found me on YouTube, sat around for a while, but she came to our June conference, which we have every year. Then she actually bought the ILF Mastery Blueprint, right? So she's got my personal phone number. We do launches with her. We're probably going to go live today from her place because I want you guys to be able to see what it looks like, right? Of an open house when we do one kind of from the beginning. So big shout out to Thalina Senior Independent Living. Super proud of you and your family, Aklina. And again, just thank you all for trusting us. Big shout out to Miss Teal again and her family. A lot of you guys have been commenting on Tia's videos that are on my page. Tia, we'll probably miss Tia if we can line it up. I'm thinking Monday to have you on live. I want people to be able to ask you questions too, Tia. So Shay's not on today, so I may get in trouble for saying that because I don't know what my schedule is like Monday. But Monday when we go live at 6 p.m., Tia, it's a great possibility that we're going to want you on live because a lot of people are seeing you. I want them to be able to see you live and be able to also ask you questions. Like, what made you get the coaching and how was the coaching beneficial? And Tia, a lot of people are asking me too, why did you decide to go luxury? Right? So a lot of us got nice ILFs, right? But y'all, Tia room don't look like this, right? And that's a nice room by all means. But Tia room does not look like that one either. Right. So again, there's a lot of different ways people put touches on these rooms. And Tia went, y'all, I'm going to call to the extreme in a good way. So Tia has what you would call a luxury independent living facility. So I'm excited to show you guys that. I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, don't forget texting that phrase more info to the phone number that's scrolled below. And also text in the word scholarship if you desire the coaching and you want another additional discount and you want to see what it is. Or if you just got additional questions, right? And again, questions are only pertaining to you moving forward with the coaching. Because remember, I prefer the questions right here on YouTube. That way that we can just all learn together like these families did today. So again, thank you to the Aaron family and the other 4 families that joined us today. You guys now have a decision to make. And just like we tell everybody, man, don't procrastinate, because procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. All right. So I'm going to end it like that. I'm going to pray you guys out of here. Then I just want to be a reminder that you guys join us Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. If anything you got questions about from now to Monday, write them down. Talk to God on Sunday. Well, talk to God every day. But when you go to your house of worship on Sunday, right, tomorrow, make sure you tell God about what you just seen and you heard today and tell God you want to be involved in it. And remind God of his word and say, God, you said that we should take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow. And you said that the poor will always be among us. So God, will you allow me to help them through real estate and open up every door of opportunity for me to do that? Because that's my prayer for you all. In fact, I'm going to just go ahead and pray now. So you guys be good. Don't wait to be great. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Forston Consultants. Join our free Facebook Academy, right? That's it. The ILF Academy. That's a free Facebook group. In fact, I'm going to put that in the chat too. The ILF Academy. So join that. That's free. We do a lot of crazy stuff in there too. A lot of individual teaching, a lot of deals and sales go down in there. So make sure you join our free Facebook, the ILF Academy. Join us Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And again, type in any question or concern that you may have right on our YouTube channel. And again, we're going to make sure that we answer that on Monday. Other than that, you guys be great. Father God, thank you so much for this opportunity again, for the opportunity to pour into the lives of your people. And God, thank you that we have the opportunity to help them through real estate. So God, today I ask that you unveil, release every opportunity, every resource. Because God, you are the ultimate resource. You're the ultimate source, God. And thank you for allowing us to be the resource of everything that you give us. So God, by your Holy Spirit, bring all of this information back to their remembrance. Allow them to remember it, but probably most important, allow them to be able to move at the speed of instruction. God, give these guys the mind of Christ and give them an able body to do what you've already put in their heart. And that's helping your people through real estate. So again, God, release the resources for us to be a positive impact in our community. And God, will be ever so careful. We won't take the credit. We'll give you all the credit. We'll give you all the honor and all the glory. And we'll say thank you now for allowing us and these people to be a good steward over it. Father God, you did it for me and you will do it for these people. So right now, God, release every resource, whether financially, spiritually, or physically. God, give it to them and allow their dreams to come true. And God will give you all the credit. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great. And we'll see you guys Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, What kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forston Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook to let people know who we are, what we do, but probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them that we're available.
Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro?
David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forston Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I join the Forston crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy Derek, man, he give the game away. So I'm always there. So Dennis, what in the world are the requirements to get started with something like this? The only requirement for this, David, is a big heart for God, his people, and the love for real estate. That's it. And bro, don't think I ain't listening, because I am listening. But where can I find more information like this at, man? Because I really want to get started, man. David, if I were you, I'd follow Derek Forston on Facebook and TikTok, and then I'd follow Forston Consultants on everything else in terms of Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, really slowly, David, because you're hard-headed. I'd follow Derek Forston at Facebook on his personal page. I'd follow him on TikTok, but I will also follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, David. Hey, Dennis, man, I really appreciate that, man. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do. I'm going to follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No problem.